Hi, welcome to this reading. Welcome to my channel. My name is Cynthia. Thank you for being here. This is just going to be a collective reading today, a general message. I just feel like celebrating. I don't know what's going on, but I just feel a lot better than I did. I think in the last couple readings, I felt a little bit low energy and kind of sad. Some of it was collective energy and some of it was my own, and I'm just feeling so much better, optimistic again, excited about my work and about my channel and about this reading. And even for my summer, I had kind of mentioned that I was feeling a little bit down and out and depressed about the last few summers and just where feeling impatient to be on to the next and not quite making it there yet. And I have some fun plans coming up. I'm going to go visit a friend over my birthday, which is going to be really great and nice to go from like, I don't even know what I'm going to do to my birthday to like, oh, I have this fun road trip planned. And then another friend's having a party later this summer. So I just feel better. I feel less isolated, I guess. And I'm hoping the same for you out there, wherever you are. Summer's especially where I live, because I live in a fairly dark, lots of rain, dark through the winter a lot, cold, lots of seasonal weather change. It's nice where I live, but we have such a short window of nice, consistent weather that it's really, if you live here, maybe you'll know what I'm talking about, but it kind of puts pressure on you a little bit. Like, get out and live while you can, while the sun's out. And it's like, yeah, okay, but my life isn't in a place like that. And so this lovely summer is just going to pass me by, apparently. And it's not passing anyone by. We're all in it, and you get to enjoy it and live it in the present moment if you decide to. Right? So feeling a little bit better about things and not quite as, lonely or whatever that may be, right? So I also sat down. It's funny, I sat down to do a reading 2 days ago, and on Monday, and I was like, as I pulled the cards, I was like, this is all just a bunch of bullshit that I can't really understand, and it's a bunch of high drama, not anything important really. So I just abandoned the reading and didn't post it, which is the first time I've ever done that. Like, I've never sat down and been so like impacted by some sort of interference or whatever that I just didn't do the reading. That happened that time, and it felt really good. It was like maybe a nice teaching moment for me to be like, don't do the reading if it doesn't feel right. You don't owe the channel. You don't owe people. What you owe is your best work. That's what I feel I owe. And I don't want this to become something where I'm just phoning it in and not doing a reading, or, sitting through a reading that I don't really want to do. I want to try to keep that kind of energy in check. So I had a deck in mind that I wanted to start with. What was it? Oh, it was this little nature-based woodland creatures deck. So what do we need to know? Oh, and to celebrate being in a better mood, I brought out some herbs to burn that are for joy. They're just strictly not to cleanse away, not to heal, they're just to invite joy into the space and good spirits. A very known, popular plant to burn for that is sweetgrass. I actually am out of sweetgrass, but I'm lucky in that we have calendula growing here, and we also have lemon balm growing here, and those are great herbs for joy and peace and even summer, right? So I'm just, rather than drink them in a tea, I decided to burn them like a smudge and just get that good smoke in here of joyful herbs that are going to give us upliftment, right? Upliftment and healing and cleansing energy that uplifts us. So thank you, these plant spirits. I just love calendula. You probably know it's most famous for being a really good skin medicine, and it's also famous for Day of the Dead. Marigolds and calendula are famous flowers to honor the dead in Mexico, made famous by the Mexica, right? So that's burning here in honor of the ancestors and whatever. And Lemon balm's really wonderful to take regularly on a daily basis as an anti-anxiety, antidepressant. Tastes and smells delicious. Lemon balm does. You got to be careful when you grow it. It'll take over wherever it's growing. So what do we need to know for our joy and upliftment, especially in times like this where the world feels to be in a lot of crisis and the average person feels often powerless in a situation like that? We're not powerless. When we're united, we're a mighty force, but it's easy to get down and out feeling in times like these. So what do we need to know? Sending you out there love and good vibes. What do we need to know? What is going to be important for us to know in this collective? Gosh, this is so interesting. I was just talking about snails and Ifa and cool water, and now here that was in the last reading, and now here's the snail card. So that might have, and I'd even been thinking, because I recently received Isefa or Ishefa, which is Hand of Ifa, and it's just to sort of receive the protection and life path and guidance of the Orishas and of Ifa. And I'm very conscious of the fact that Ifa is not a white European tradition in its ancestry, it's African. And I don't appropriate these kinds of spiritualities without, well, I just don't want to appropriate anything culturally that's not my lineage. But it's a long story, but I've had like a very long, loud Orisha presence in my life for like 2 or 3 years now, to the point that I can't ignore it anymore. And I finally sought out an Iya to guide me and help me know what to do. And Iya is an Ifa priestess. And so I went to her, and she's been guiding me for like the last year. And I just received my Ishefa from her. And so I have my Eshu shrine and my Ikin, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm still learning a lot of my Yoruba terminology, but I even thought about showing my Eshu shrine here, but I thought I'm not going to do that. And the reason I'm saying that now is because this symbol that's powerful in Ifa is here. So I just thought I would acknowledge it, I guess, and say that how honored I am and how proud I am to be learning that lineage and tradition, and also grateful to be receiving the protection. Eshu is the Orisha of the crossroads and of the path that we follow, our Ori. And it's nice to have his presence here protecting my home, right, along with Orunmila. So anyways, that's an aside here, inspired by this card that I just pulled. So what do we need to know? This card came in the reverse, the snail and buckleberry. I've never heard of that. Oh, huckleberry. Sorry. The snail and huckleberry. Well, huckleberry's in bloom right now where I live, so I love to see that too. We are fortunate to live in a place where we have lots of really succulent, delicious huckleberries that grow in the wild here. Trust in the invisible, and this card came in the reverse. You are relying too heavily on physical proof. Grow quiet and observant. Allow subtle cues, even feelings and intimations, to guide you. The determined and deliberate snail carries its home on its back. While it may seem like a simple, humble creature, the spiral of its shell portends great mystery, representing the cycle of life. Like the snail, the huckleberry is sometimes associated with smallness and insignificance. A huckleberry, in late 19th century slang, was a person of little consequence. However, it is a powerful fruit that grows plentifully, offering life-sustaining nutrients to both humans and woodland creatures. Together, the snail and huckleberry invite an appreciation for what is beneath the surface and trust in what cannot be seen. So that's important for this collective reading to know. First off, is that you're relying too heavily on what you can see and touch, and you're being asked to go within and follow and listen to your hunches and your intuitive guidance and guidance from the spiritual realm. So that's good advice to begin with. Look for the unseen, look beneath the surface. The next card is the skunk and magnolia. The skunk and magnolia, and that also came in the reverse, protection. Self-protection can hinder growth. You may be misinterpreting a situation and acting defensively. Ask yourself why you feel the need for armor. Could greater vulnerability benefit you? The skunk knows how to shield itself by spraying its foes with a foul odor. Its black and white fur serves as a warning to all would-be assailants. Similarly, the magnolia is known for its large waxy leaves and copious blooms. Its thick-petaled flowers are some of the oldest on Earth, having evolved to endure damage from beetles. Yeah, don't be too guarded and look and follow your hunches. You can't rely on the seen world right now, and you can't have too much of a guard up. You're being asked to let your guard down, trust what in the unseen, trust in your intuition and what it's telling you, and keep your heart open. And then finally, trout and lily of the valley. And that's in the upright. Purification. Both the trout and lily of the valley symbolize return and restoration. A river or lake teeming with trout indicates a balanced and healthy ecosystem. Conservation efforts at rewilding streams often focuses on reintroducing trout to their native habitat once rivers have been decontaminated and barriers such as dams removed. Likewise, in the Victorian language of flowers, the lily of the valley communicates a return to happiness. Oh my God, I love it. And we're burning these herbs for joy here. This is good news. Look at that. That's kind of cool looking. This little flaming center of the calendula there. Celebrating that joyful message of the trout and lily of the valley. Likewise, in the Victorian language of flowers, the lily of the valley communicates a return to happiness. This is perhaps due to the legend of Saint Leonard, a hermit said to have slain the last dragon in England. Whenever the blood of the dragon was spilled, lilies of the valley grew. Wherever the blood of the dragon was spilled, lilies of the valley grew. And once the dragon was killed, Saint Leonard returned to his life of peaceful solitude. Your difficulties are subsiding and happiness will soon be restored. Now is the perfect time for quiet meditation and deep introspection. So you don't need to force anything. Trust your intuition. It's not steering you wrong. And let your guard down. You don't need to have your guard so up like you may have been right lately because you don't trust what's happening and you feel uncertain and vulnerable, right? What is happening here that this is speaking to? What are you being encouraged about here? This is encouraging messaging. It's saying you're being a little too protected and not believing in what's about to happen. And there's beautiful things about to happen. What's been happening here? What's been stressing you out? I just heard that song. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when our mom would sing us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. I don't know who sings that even. It was a hit song on the radio. I don't know what it is. Date night on the bottom. This is exciting. This might turn into be a love reading where you gave up hope on a relationship, but look what's about to happen. Date night. Money. Reconciliation. Counseling. Mirroring. So good things are coming. I have a feeling it has to do with a relationship where intuitively you may have been sensing that there's some good things coming in your relationship or the relationship that you desire, but you have an inner part of you that is skeptical and doubtful and feels that it's too good to be true and doesn't want to let you hope. And so it keeps telling you things like, you have no reason to believe that this is happening. You need to just let go and keep moving forward. And it's really depressing you and lowering your energy, like lowering your vibration, as they say, right? And this is saying, first of all, those thoughts are not accurate. Second, you're not doing yourself any favors by continuing to circle around those negative messages, because there's actually some positive things that are about to happen. So this is lovely. This is the, I'm so glad this is the kind of reading I was wanting to do. And I kept kind of feeling like the universe was thwarting me and sending me these high drama toxicity readings that I don't like. Those are useful at times. You need to know what the fuck's going on sometimes, but I just have not been in that mode this week, and it kept trying to come out like that. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to even, that's when I finally was like, I'm just not doing this fucking reading. I started it. I got about 20 minutes in, scrapped it because I was like, I'm not reading on the same situation. Smudged, shuffled again. Seemed like it was going to come out, and then it just started going right back to that. So this is great. This is showing me that that energy got cleansed away, and I'm very happy about that. And to be doing this reading instead. What else do you need to know? Be wise as the serpent and gentle as the dove. So that's, I think, speaking to that, having your guard way up. When you have your guard way, way up to someone, you're not very gentle, right? And it's not wise to have your guard so high up that you can't let anyone in that's actually potentially good for you, right? So be wise as the serpent and gentle as the dove. Look for what's being left out. Well, what's being left out is that you're not trusting the unseen. You're not trusting the hidden realms of magic and of intuition and creativity. That's what's being left out. You're in a place right now where you're over relying on logic and what you can see right in front of you. And while we all need a practical part of us that keeps our feet on the ground, this is saying you're ignoring too much of the unseen, which is also important, right? Anima animus. So it's good. It's a good idea to continue doing whatever you're doing to alchemize your inner masculine and feminine. And maybe you're not doing that right now, and you're in a little bit of a, what would that be if you're just not trusting, like rejecting the feminine within you, right? Rejecting it and saying, I don't trust intuition. I don't trust in the unseen. I don't trust my feelings. I trust hard facts, logic, right? Like that's sort of, you like that, Stevie? That's kind of like a distorted masculine energy, or a distorted feminine energy, right? That's not looking at the entire information and assigning our judgments to things that we don't have control over and that are really the universe's domain and not ours, right? So now it's going to be maybe a good plant medicine for you while you're meditating and allowing the good to arrive in your life. What's a good plant that can help you? And I am going to do tarot, don't worry. I know this is a lot of reading. With those 3 woodland creatures cards, I had to read from the book, and I like to read from the plant book too. So hopefully you like that. I do. I like to read, especially if they're well written, the descriptions of people's oracle cards, and not just assign my own meaning. But what are some plants that are going to be useful? Right now we have copal, myrrh, juniper, lemon balm, and calendula burning. We've got arnica on the split. Oh my God, that's so beautiful and summery too, with those sunflowers and that, looks like a panther jumping through the sky like that with those beautiful oranges and yellows. Arnica and vitex. So vitex is a very feminine herb, and arnica over here looks quite masculine to me. This is really lovely. This is a way to balance These herbs are going to help you balance your masculine and feminine, just like it's recommending with anima and animus. Vitex is a very feminine herb. In fact, I'm taking it right now because I'm in menopause, and it's an herb that's known, it's also called chaste tree. It's an herb that's known to really be a friend to women in times like hormonal swings and change of life. And I'm telling you what, like I've known for years, that's like one of the common symptoms they tell you about when you start entering menopause, that you get belly fat. And it's so weird why people don't listen to or believe women. Like I remember thinking, well, that's not going to happen to me. I'll just be careful. Like I don't pig out. Like I don't, why would you get belly fat if you're eating properly? Well, that's what women, medical providers say that shit to women all the time. And it doesn't address what really causes the body to start storing fat in the stomach once your hormones change. It's just what it is. It's not, nobody's immune to it. All women that go through, that are, assigned female at birth, are going to eventually go through this, and they're going to have some belly fat, right? And so I'm glad that I have the herbs that I know about to use, but it's taken a lot of focused determination on my part to both accept that that's what's happening to my body, that it's changing. I can't just eat whatever anymore. I used to be able to. I was sort of lucky that way in terms of women's bodies, that I could eat whatever, and I had a fast metabolism, and I didn't even have to think about it. I could eat whatever I wanted. Well, that's not true anymore. And in fact, not only is it not true, if I eat anything that has a lot of fat in it, I'm going to pay for it. And it's like, wow, this is a change. So I can either embrace that and embrace getting larger and bigger, or I can try to stay my same size. And right now, that's what I'm trying to do, is stay my same size through calorie deficiency and increased exercise. And I'm doing things to like use aids like red light therapy and stuff to aid my circulation and my lymphatic system. So those are things that they just don't prepare you for, or you think they do, but they really don't. Or you think you're ready, but you're not. Like, I don't know. Oops. The things I'm doing are working, luckily, but now we'll see, because once I get back to the weight that I'm wanting, or at least it's not so much weight at this point, it's inches for me, but once I get back to that, we'll see. Like, is that going to be next to impossible to maintain? Because if so, I'll just make my peace with being bigger. I don't want to suffer for the rest of my life because I don't want to gain weight. That's absurd. So I'll just, if it's going to be too hard to maintain my body weight, then I'll embrace weighing 20 more pounds and then do what I need to look good with 20 more pounds on me or something, right? Like, because I like to look good. I care about my appearance. Card 27, Vitex. Let's see what this card says about alchemizing masculine and feminine energy and what else it might do. The fresh and new. Vitex is a friend of the edgewalker, the outcast, the wise ones of the fringe. Vitex is an ally to those building their dreams, even if they are told they will not succeed. Pungent and peppery, the berries of Vitex will alert your senses to new things, new possibilities. If you've been held back, felt like you were not like others, desired isolation or more space, Vitex knows your name. Long known as an ally for hormonal modulation to those with ovaries, Vitex is a very knowledgeable and ancient endocrine stabilizer, loosening congestion in the pelvis, allowing for fertile beginnings of new life projects and creations. The seat of creativity is in the pelvis, a place where the entirety of our blood passes as it circulates throughout our body. This space is a wellspring and a bottleneck. There is so much life and movement there that sometimes this bowl of ourselves can become too full, thick, and languid. Vitex is a mover of stagnancy and a modulator of spikes and valleys in the chemical signatures of our bodies, and a creator of newness. With Vitex by your side, your passion, desire, and lust for life can become primary influences driving your actions and choices. I love it. This is everything we were just talking about, bringing joy back in, even in difficult times, right? And through difficult health changes and circumstances. Vitex can bring to the forefront the stirrings you have been harboring and nurturing, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Trust in Vitex, in the ability of this plant ally to open the dams of your spirit and let the rivers flow. rushing in their waters to a place of pure sensual knowledge and energy. Well, that's awesome. And also the second time that dams have been mentioned. Dams were mentioned in this trout card as well. So something about keeping yourself too tightly restricted right now and not trusting flow and intuition and life to carry you forward. There's too much rigidity, and because of that rigidity, you're blocking things to come and flow to you freely. So this is great advice to say, breach the dam, breach your inner dam that's got your guard way up, and let flow back in. Vitex can help with that. Card number 3, Arnica. Arnica is a wonderful pain reliever, and I'm excited to hear what else. It looks like calendula a little bit. The sustainer of form. Arnica is a guardian of our physical body and spirit. Arnica is the spider and the web, reinforcing and supporting our energetic and physiological networks. Arnica aids in healing and repair after injury. Arnica is a true ally in the face of shock and dissociation. This plant ally allows for integration after an experience of trauma, whether old, recent, or cumulative. Gosh, I had no idea, and I love to know that because I specialize in trauma in my therapy practice. Shock and trauma can become trapped in the body in many different organ systems. This stuck trauma can lead to a huge range of physical and emotional imbalances. For those who have suffered injury, abuse, surgery, or bruising of the body or soul, Arnica is your friend. Pollution, low nutrient foods, and lifestyles that are less physically active or engaged with the natural world have created a new set of challenges for humans. We have more layers and blocks to healing than ever before. Fractured from ourselves as organisms and as animals, we exist in the world of our intellect, which does not aid our integration as a species into our greater ecology. Just as Arnica improves blood flow to inflamed and damaged tissues, helps move cellular waste out of the body and build new cells, they rebuild the flow and connection in the traumatized spirit so that new trust and development of the soul can occur, which strikes me as really important here because that's what you're having trouble with, is trusting that everything is flowing to you. You're having trouble believing that. And Arnica can go in and soothe all of that vigilant part of you that is saying, this is too good to be true. Don't let yourself hope. Don't listen to what your intuition is telling you because that's impractical. You have no reason to think that, right? I have a very loud voice like that inside me that says, stop believing in this person, but, or not person, but like, stop believing this is going to happen. Even though everything in you is saying you can feel that it's going to happen, you have no reason to think that. There's nothing going on in the material world that indicates that. So you need to let go and move on, right? Like those are just brass tacks messaging. And I appreciate that part of me for trying to help me stay practical and grounded, but it can get too loud at times and squash any kind of creative or intuitive guidance that's trying to reach me, right? Arnica is an aid for the impact of physical injury, but also the tension and conflict of our times. Boom. Arnica allows you to repair and recover, rebuilds with strength and greater resilience for your next encounter with distress or trauma. You're training your tissues and your spirit in how to fight, flee, release, and regenerate. Arnica is the net. Arnica is the form. I have goosebumps. That is really beautiful. Really beautiful. So now let's hear what Tarot has to say for this message. We're getting a lot of really great advice already. You can trust what your intuition is telling you about this relationship. If your intuition is telling you that this person misses you and wants to repair things, or if they also want a reconciliation and you feel like that's too good to be true, this is telling you that they do want a reconciliation. It might benefit you to go to counseling through the reconciliation and have someone there that's trained to help you both work through whatever brought you to the stalemate or the conflict to begin with. But it's not just love and reconciliation coming to you, it's abundance. But you got to be careful, because if you're putting out there a lot of doubt and skepticism, the universe is going to mirror that back to you. So you just have to watch out. I'm careful about saying that, honestly, because as a therapist, if you're a trauma survivor, it can be really challenging to have an optimistic outlook if all life's ever shown you is reasons to protect yourself, right? The moon. Things are not as they seem, in a good way, okay? So you may have thought, it's too late, it's over, this person's never coming back, I've just got to keep nursing my broken heart and move on. I can't ever let them hurt me again. You know, whatever, right? Whatever inner voice is telling you all that. This is saying it's not what it seems. So try to quiet that and let go and get back in flow. Because there's a major passionate new beginning and opportunity coming with this Ace of Wands. It doesn't seem like that. That's why you're all down and out and sad and feeling like you've got to move on in this really sorrowful energy. Well, it's not what it seems, so there's no need for that. Yeah, a King of Wands and an Emperor. I don't know if this is the same person or if it's two different masculine energies that are involved here, but they're bringing you an opportunity, a highly empowered opportunity. You keep feeling like it's not going to happen. That's your vulnerability, is that this new opportunity or experience that I can step into with this person is, you've given up on it, and it's actually here, is what this is saying. It's going to happen. There's the devil at the center of things. You might be wondering if this person is a devil to you. And what you're being told is to, again, go within and trust what your intuition is telling you about this person. I think what it's going to say is that they're not the devil. Okay, they're sincere. That's what I think is coming out here. There's a huge change coming. Things are not what they seem. This old reality is about to give way to the new. You keep feeling like that's not going to happen. Again, it keeps saying like your wheel of fortune is not ever going to happen, right? There's a lot of, you've got a really negative voice in there that's really talking you out of feeling any kind of joy or excitement. And this reading is really trying to draw your attention to that and say that that's like your inner devil that you need to get a hold of, is that voice. What's the devil here? Yeah, you keep anticipating bad news and a bad outcome to this relationship, and you keep feeling that you have to walk away, that this has somehow tricked you, is what you keep feeling, and that there's bad news coming. It's like a hyper vigilant part. You might be someone that literally has PTSD, and this hyper vigilant part is relentless in its saying like, don't believe it, don't get hopeful, you're just going to be let down again, don't be, it's like really doing a number on you, is what this is saying. It's got you not believing that anything positive is possible, that you're only going to have a negative news, if any, from this person, and that you need to walk away. And that's what's showing here, is that that's actually not accurate. What's the death card? What's the death card here? Can you tell us about the change here? I mean, you definitely need to alchemize your inner masculine and feminine. That's going to be really helpful to you. Open back up to flow. Don't be in fighting and resistance, right? Vitex and Arnica can help with that tremendously. What about this death card here? Yeah. You're about to start something new with this lever. It's going to completely change your life. It's death in a really positive way, but it's going to be a very radical shift. It's going to be a metamorphosis, like the kind of relationship that's very involved in healing for both of you. And it's a reconciliation, right? That's what it was already predicting. This is someone who's known to you. It's a relationship that you may have cherished, but that you were devastated to feel that you lost. And this is saying things are not what they seem. You didn't lose the relationship. This person's not a devil. In fact, it's the voice in your head that you need to kill that's saying you can't believe any of this, because it's all coming. This is what, it's interesting that death is what's showing for this amazing love opportunity. I would never have expected death to be a card that would be showing that. I wonder why. Like, I'm curious why did that come out as a death card? Tell us more about why that is, because it's very positive, and death is not a negative card. Maybe it's just saying this is going to be really intense, because death card also can indicate not a simple, but it is necessary, but it's not an easy or simple, like going into a cocoon. That process of metamorphosis is very difficult, but ultimately really beautiful. And that's what this is saying, is there's maybe going to have to face down some difficulty in the situation as you welcome in this love. Why death? What is it specifically about the death and metamorphosis? It's important to know. Like, why is that showing here? Why is that showing here? Because there's been a lot of confusion and illusion present. So much so that it's showing up like you have not known what to think or what to believe. It's been highly, highly confusing and disorienting, this whole thing, and borderline traumatic for you. That's why the death card, because it's been so stressful, so confusing, so uncertain, not really understanding anything in your inner life about what you can really trust. Because of all that confusion, you've really had some blocks to the things that you're trying to create for yourself, because you're sending a lot of signals out into the world that everything is a threat, everything is dangerous, nobody can be trusted, I've got to have my guard way up. Like, that's understandable for people with PTSD, but at some point it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If you live like that, that's what you're going to create, is that you can't trust anyone and everybody's at a distance and you're alone and isolated, right? This is saying, this is why it's a death, because it's going to be such a radical shift from how you've been perceiving things, from like, nothing I want ever comes to be, it's all too good to be true, I never get the things that I want while other people do, right? It's really taken you down some dark roads. It's going to be a huge shift out of that to real love. You can't make it up. To real love and reconciliation. I love you right here. That's why it's a death, because it's such a radical change, a very radical change. And maybe it's going to be like that for both of you. What else to know about this situation when it comes in? Harmony. This is what's coming. From all of these doubts and sorrows and walking away, and it's all was too much to hope for, and I never should have let myself hope for this, that kind of thinking, that's going to be removed. And what's going to be in its place is harmony in your life. It's really beautiful, where you feel at the center of a lot of beauty and peace and love, right? And it's going to be happening in the here and now. It's not something that's going to feel like it's far off or out of reach or not available to you. It's going to show up in your present, in the here and now. And you're going to get to live it. It's not going to be some far off thing that you pine for. It's going to be present for you. It's your blessing that's coming. It's your Wheel of Fortune. It's your Lovers and Two of Cups. It's real love. It's reconciliation. It's all of these things that you've had such a hard time believing are possible for you. They're actually coming. And again, this is so far outside of what it's like you're just not going to see this coming almost. Like you might not even This might be the kind of reading where you don't even see it, but you click on it out of curiosity after the fact, and you're like, oh my God, that was me. Like a month ago or 3 weeks ago or whatever. Like I was convinced that this wasn't going to happen, and then here I am in my bliss of this blessing of this new beginning and this reconciliation. What else do you need to know about this? Since it was talking specifically about alchemizing your masculine and feminine, what else do you need to know here? You can trust the inner light that's guided you this far in your life and that keeps telling you that it's not over with this person. You can trust that. It's not over. There's going to be a reconciliation and love, and there's not going to be any more confusion. I don't even see any interference here. I see empowerment and joy. What else do you need to know? Sharing, card 33. There is giving and receiving and giving. While solitude is necessary at times, our lives also need to be shared for sustainable and healthy living as well as growth. The true sharing of ourselves does not take anything away from us. It's not about giving all that we have. It does not come from a place of fear or lack or a bartering mindset. We freely offer what we have from a place of abundant love and a sense of completeness. True receiving is from this state too. Our spirit self opens in communion with those who are safe and of a pure heart. Those who are not are individuals who require our discernment and refrain when sharing. To discriminate between who and what enhances or depletes our energy is necessary. If there is a constant feeling that something is not right or does not make sense, then it probably is not the right choice for us to continue engaging with that person, group, or organization. It's okay to take time to find and gradually get to know our circle of transparent and trustworthy people, those who we can feel safe and comfortable enough with to open to cannot be forced or accumulated in a rush. It's okay to ask when unsure whether something unspoken is expected in return for receiving what seems to be freely given. True sharing is transparent and expects no form of payment in exchange. Whether others give back of their own volition is irrelevant to individuals who are not motivated by giving in order to get. The giving and receiving through knowing others and being known is the greatest sharing of all. There is much empowering value in truly seeing and being seen, hearing and being heard, and loving and being loved by one's circle. Shared experiences can heal and support us in all facets of life. Together we can become more of who we are. We are exponentially enhanced by the diversity of experience and multiple perspectives when we are in good and genuine company. When our presence, willingness, wisdom, and abundance is mutually brought to the table, we grow in ways that are inaccessible for us when alone. And that's what this is saying, is that you've done all the growth in your hermit stage. You didn't run from the hermit experience. You embraced it. You went within. You've been on a solo dark night of the soul or spiritual ascension process here. And this is saying, don't fret, like don't despair. You're not going to be here forever. And that's very easy on the spiritual journey of spiritual ascension, to start feeling like you're stuck, that there isn't any more coming for you, or that you're going to just keep purging these sorrowful things forever and never find love or your twin flame or whatever it is, right? This is saying the period of solitude healing is coming to an end for you. That's again why the death, because now your healing is going to come through relationship, not through your own solo animus, healing your relationship with God and all that. Now your healing is going to be through the healing of relationships that are healing for you, that are good relationships, right? This is so exciting for you. Look at where sharing is and is not in your life. Where does it feel good and where does it not? With whom do you share of yourself? Where do you hold back and why? If it's for good reason, excellent. If not, it might be worth test sharing something with the safest people in your life who you enjoy being around. That's what you're being encouraged to open up to. If you are a taker but not a giver, really explore the reasons why you do not reciprocate. Is there a specific fear that you can identify or something to lose at stake? Be kind and compassionate with why you believe that you have nothing to give. When you are ready, challenge the validity of this limiting belief thwarting you. I don't know if that's in play or not. We didn't get into that so much, but very lovely, very beautiful messaging. So I'm kind of winding down now here. What's maybe, what do you have to look forward to? What do you have to look forward to? Because it's saying things are not what they seem. You're feeling like you don't have really anything to look forward to right now. You're on this, feeling on this lonely journey. Feeling that to come into a time of beautiful sharing like that is too good to be true, or it only happens to other people. And this is saying, turn all that off. That's all really stinking thinking, right? As they call it, because it's not even reflecting reality. What do you have to look forward to when you open back up to flow? Trust your intuition, trust the divine to flow things to you. What do you have to look forward to? You have blessings, harmony, and joy in the present moment, love in the present moment to look forward to. What else? Yeah, Two of Wands here again. You are going to get to walk through that doorway with your partner, right? With this new community of people that is your community and your tribe. You keep fearing that's not going to happen. This is saying this is going to happen. You have it to look forward to. Really exciting. An end of this surrender time. An end, it's in the reverse. And you have it to look forward to. You can also look at this like, what you have to look forward to is that your work is done. Just lay down and surrender. You don't have any more to do. You don't have to push. You don't have to try. You don't have to have your guard up. You don't have to shield yourself. None of it. That time has come to an end, right? You have possibly an apology to look forward to, or a loving gesture from this person that wants to reconcile. That's what's coming. And healing. You have healing coming with this Temperance card. Healing through the relationship. You're going to be healing together. Not healing in isolation anymore, but healing together. Really, really, really exciting and beautiful reading. And then I'll pull a Colette Baron read too. What do you have to look forward to? Or what else do you need to know, right? Where is the beauty of things headed that you didn't know were even possible? Luck, serendipity. This is the second time this card has made a showing. So there's people in this collective that are about to have a total 180 to their reality of like sadness and skepticism and loneliness and isolation and healing and dark night of the soul. Boom, here comes luck and a total shift and a death to the old, to that process. Now you're stepping into like social reconciliation, love, bonding, community, healing. Really beautiful. Yeah, you're feeling orphaned. What is this? It's in the upright, so I need to read this. This is going to have a message in here, a real warning to it, I think. Card number 5. We were all meant to have connections with other people within our families, societies, and the larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of, rather than separate from, is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with the group or community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. That's what we just talked about, right? Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It's time to move on. As you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you're in a different stage of personal growth. Perhaps you're in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. We just talked about that feeling like everybody else has this. Why don't I have it, right? Take heart. Spirit knows you and loves you and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are without artifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to belong. It won't be worth the price. So you're about to have this all open up for you. Just know that this is a distorted view of what's actually going on right now. You're not orphaned. You're not being abandoned. You've had to do a lot of solo healing, and it's kind of almost like it's got you thinking that this is now like your permanent reality, that you're meant to be alone forever, that you're never going to connect and find love again, or find a community that matches all of the spiritual growth that you've been through in the last, whatever, several years or period of time, right? This is saying it's all here for you. It's all coming. That's all illusion, that it's not going to happen. It is. So it's a really important message to hear at the end. You're not an abandoned orphan. You may have felt like that. You may have had to go through a period of time of abandonment because you were in circumstances that weren't right for you, but you did the work, and now your reward is coming. So take heart, and I hope that this reaches you, because I sense that you're really discouraged and feeling like, why am I even continuing to hope? I'm just in denial. This is never going to happen, right? A lot of really sorrowful mindset present. And I relate. I mean, like I said a few minutes ago, I was just there in that mindset, right, myself. And earlier in the week, and just couldn't seem to snap out of my funk, and wanting to have a reason to be happy. Well, this is maybe my reading too, I hope. Fingers crossed, right? Like, I'm ready to have the joy. And I already kind of was feeling it today. So it's a positive omen as well. So thank you so much. I hope you like this reading, and I will see you in the next one. And be good and get ready to enjoy.